I'm on camera. Makes a change. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm on camera. I thought, screw it, let's do it. Let's get on the camera. See my faces, mates. Yes. On today's video, I wanted to just talk about, get all down nostalgic and talk about my most nostalgic movies growing up and just compile them into a top 10 list. I've picked 10. You probably can see one creeping in frame. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about fucking just awesome nostalgic movies that I will just love until I die. So that's a bleak statement. So yeah, let's just kick it off with number 10, Clash of the Titans. I love this film. Fucking just great effects. It doesn't feel like it's been made in the 80s. It feels like it's, it feels like a classic movie, like it's from the same kind of era as Jason and the Argonauts and films like that. We're gonna get to that film next. But anyway, yeah, Clash of the Titans. It's a fucking timeless movie. Great effects, great story, and I will love it until I die. It's so good. I love this Blu-ray as well. It's a HMV's premium collection. It comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD. I think the DVD's hidden behind the booklet, the DVD in there. Yeah, I do like these HMV premium collection Blu-rays. I think they're really cool. They're usually bringing out, they got loads. They're in the hundreds. These are in the hundreds. So I'm really happy with that. I think they're really good. These are they do loads of classic films as well on this, and it's really cool. I really recommend the premium collection from HMV. Grab it. You can get them for about 2 for 25 quid, which is a pretty good steal. So I grab them because they do a lot of classics that you might enjoy. Clash of the Titans, man, one of my most nostalgic films. We won't talk about the remake, or shall we? Let's talk about the remake. The remake is dog shit. I hate it so much. They get everything, all the iconic scenes in this film, they get it completely wrong. It's a mess of a movie. I hated it. I hate every minute of it, and I wish I could get my time back, but I can't. And I just gave them to a friend who apparently likes these movies. But the original is king. It will always be king, and I love it. Oh, another thing about the remake I hated was Medusa. Medusa is awful in the remake. She looks all pretty and look at who making me, I am Medusa, yeah. No, I like her in this, where she looks fucking disgustingly horrible, and she looks like she'll fuck your shit, and she looks horrendous in this movie. I love it. Medusa is awesome in the original. Shit in the remake. The remake is shit anyway. Who even likes the remake? Don't answer that. I don't care. Anyway, Clash of the Titans is my number 10. Number 9, as I just mentioned it, Jason and the Argonauts. I always see these two as kind of a duo because they've got the same kind of vibe in terms of their presentation, and yeah, they're Greek mythology, in the Greek mythology stories, and I love them as well. Jason and the Argonauts, another great, was it his 60s? Is it 60s? I get confused. Tell me! It's not telling me. Why are you not? Yeah, 1963. 1963 this was. Yeah, just ahead of its time, I think, when it concerns stop motion effects and stuff like that. The fucking skeleton fight in this is just, everyone remembers it. It's epic. Kill them all. So good. I love this film. So good. I don't know if I would put it, I couldn't really say which film is better with these two. I really enjoy these to the point where they are just equals to me. They're so good. I always see them as a duo. I would always watch them back to back if I have time to, because it's necessary, because they are incredible and I love them. So yeah, number 9, Jason and the Argonauts. What a fucking movie. Super nostalgic to me as well, super nostalgic. Next up is another film that I preface this. I was a huge Bruce Lee fan when I was in secondary school, so from the ages of like 15 until 18, a good solid 3 years where I was obsessed with Bruce Lee. I loved all of his movies. I went and done like martial arts, trained as a martial artist, didn't go very far, but I did anyway. I was all about the Bruce Lee life for some reason. Still probably he is like undoubtedly the greatest martial artist who ever lived, and I always wonder what Game of Death would have been like if he was alive to complete it back in the 70s. It probably would have been the greatest kung fu action film ever made. But we are going to talk about the greatest kung fu action film ever made, and that is Enter the Dragon. Super nostalgic to me. You put the soundtrack on, you put the theme of this movie on, and I'm already like, we need to watch Enter the Dragon right now. We need to watch it right now. It's so good. The choreography is exceptional, and I just love everything about this movie. I love it so much. It is just great. You got the late great John Saxon in this, who is also in like stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street and Nightmare on Elm Street 3: The Dream Warriors. Good old John Saxon. He's great in this as well. He's really good in this. Yeah, Bruce Lee, of course, is fantastic. It's got a great villain, a great antagonist as well. I love this film, guys. I love it. I'm just looking at this cover right now, and then the theme is going through my brain. I'm just like, I might have to watch this. I might have to watch it tonight because it's so fucking good. Enter the Dragon, is super nostalgic to me in every way possible. Bruce Lee is a fucking master at what he does, and to take his martial arts mastery and apply it to acting, you don't see it. He's so good. He is a legend, and he will always be a living legend in cinema and otherwise. So yeah, Enter the Dragon, the great kung fu action film ever made. 100%. I agree. I think it is, and you should agree as well. You should, because it's true. Do it now. Next up is something I spoke about this before, but I think it needs to be spoken about again. 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton is the best Batman. I will fight you. It's the best Batman. I don't care what you say. Michael Keaton is the best Batman, hands down. 1989 Batman is my favourite Batman. I think he's got the best look. Michael Keaton, he has the best actor in my opinion. Best Batmobile ever. Like that, the Batmobile in this is just the best Batmobile. It looks the coolest. I'm sorry, it does. It looks so good. 89 Batman is so good. Michael Keaton is kick-ass as Batman. Jack Nicholson as the Joker fucking kills it as Joker. It's so good in this movie. The bit where he's just got his face like fixed up after being dropped in that acid thing, and he takes the mirror and he starts laughing and smashes the mirror on the side. Seriously, that scene is the Joker to me. I'm like, what a performance by Jack Nicholson. So good as the Joker. I love this movie. I rewatched The Returns recently and I thought it was a bit rubbish. But yeah, 89 Batman. I love it. It's fantastic. It's one of my favourites of all time, I must say. It's so good. Super nostalgic as well. The soundtrack as well is incredible. For a superhero soundtrack, it's one of the best ever, in my opinion. I love it. 89 Batman. The best Batman, right? I don't care. It's the truth. What are we on? I've lost count. 10, 9, 8, 7. These are in no particular order, by the way, guys. I just grabbed 10 films that I'm super nostalgic for. Number 7 is Gremlins. A film you can happily put on any time of the year, but it's always best at Christmas because this is the this is like a Christmas movie. Because it is. Fucking is! It birthed the concept of the small creature film, like creature feature film. You've got a lot of copycats. We'll get to one that is accused to be a copycat, but it's not, and we'll get to that soon. Anyway, Gremlins, fantastic film, a fantastic horror film, a fantastic Christmas movie, a fantastic creature feature. It's just the idea of these little monsters. If they eat after midnight, you are in trouble because they cause chaos. They don't eat you per se. They don't really kind of cause you harm. Or I think it's up to them as little monsters. They just want to do what they want to do, have fun, cause absolute anarchy, and they do that in this film. If for any reason you haven't seen Gremlins, go and see fucking Gremlins. It's so good. Get the Blu-ray. It's dirt cheap there anyway. Or whatever subscription service you would like to watch the film on. I'm sure it's easily available. So if you have not seen Gremlins, watch Gremlins, man. It's so good. Excellent. And it's super nostalgic to me. Watch Gremlins. It's almost Christmas time. This one's going to be a bit of a weird one. This one is going to be weird. Because the film is kind of bad, but it's super nostalgic to me, and I kind of love it because it's kind of awful. Howard the Duck! Yeah, I so nostalgic, this film. It's such a weird one though. It's so strange, but I love it. I can't really explain why, but I do. Yeah. Howard the Duck is a really bad film, but I think it has a lot of charm, and that's why I love it. It's got 101 films. It comes in this nice little sleeve, this little booklet. Howard the Duck there. It's really hard to look at the camera without looking at myself. It's really difficult for some reason. Yeah, so Howard the Duck. It comes with a 2-disc Blu-ray and DVD. Yeah, super nostalgic to me. I understand, like, it's awful, and I think everyone hates it, I'm not too sure, but I find charm with it, in its badness, and I remember watching it as a kid, and kind of liking it, and it's just nostalgic, it makes me think of being a kid, you know, and loving it. Howard the Duck, yeah, I love it. I'm not gonna say it's great, watch it, but I mean, it's got charm. Don't take it seriously. I don't know, something about it, with me growing up with it, has made it really nostalgic to me, so I love it. Yeah, Howard the Duck. Next up is another one that I watched recently and thought, this is fucking a great movie. I haven't watched it in years, and super nostalgic. I thought I knew the story, sort of, but I kind of got the story mixed up, which is really interesting when you're trying, and the nostalgia kind of warps things, and it's really interesting in that way. But yeah, my next choice for nostalgic movies is Flight of the Navigator. I really like this movie. I think it holds up now. I think it's a really good family movie, a really heartwarming film, and I like the effects, I like the characters, I like the plot. I think it's just a really good movie, and I think it's kind of a forgotten little kind of, like, I don't want to say hidden gem, but it is kind of forgotten, because I think this came out, when did it come out? Let's have a look. It will tell me. It usually does. Tell me. 1986. So it came out the year I was born. So it came out hot off the heels of E.T., the E.T. explosion. So E.T. was massive. This came out hot off the heels of E.T. With a very different kind of story, but I really enjoyed this. I think I prefer this over E.T. Kill me in the comments. You know, whatever. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. Super nostalgic as well for me. Like, this whole list is super nostalgic. But yeah, great movie. Holds up the test of time. Like, I watched this, I think it was on TV maybe about a month or two ago. And me and my mum watched it, and I'm just like, this is still really good. Like, it's a really good family movie. And I highly highly recommend. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's really good. And if you have seen it, you haven't seen it in a while, stick it on. Find a way to watch it. Buy the Blu-ray, get it on Netflix or wherever you can find to watch it. Just watch it. It's really, really decent, and I really think you might get a kick out of it. It's a great little family film. What are we on? We're down to our last three. Last three already. 3. Now this next choice is not my favourite in the franchise, but it is my most nostalgic, and that is Star Wars The Return of the Jedi. Super nostalgia. That whole opening bit at Jabba's palace, mate, whenever I put this on, then I'll watch that opening part. I'm talking about the theatrical version. This version is the de-specialized edition, so it's as close as the theatrical version as you're gonna get, because fucking Disney's not going to release that shit, is it? It's going to release the shitty special edition versions where you've got the horrendous CGI fucking dance scene, which I kind of hate. I hate what they did to the opening of this movie. But yeah, the theatrical version, how it was originally seen, I was a little kind of 7-year-old kid, had the VHS, played the VHS to death. I loved this film. When I put it on and I watched that opening 20 minutes, I'm transported back as a little kid, and I'm like just mesmerized immediately straight away. As an adult, I'm still mesmerized by that opening moment. I get all the feels, nostalgia feels inside my tum-tum. Oh man, I love this film. I love this. Just the opening as well. It's just so nostalgic to me, man. Like the Rancor part, everything about it. It's just, I get all the nostalgic tingles with this movie. And yeah, who doesn't like Return of the Jedi? Like, I know some people would say, I would even say it's the weakest out of the original trilogy, but for me it's the most nostalgic. It's the one that takes me back to a child the most out of the trilogy, and I love it. It's fantastic. Number 2, again, this is not my favourite in the franchise, but it is the first one I saw, so it has major nostalgic ties to my love for the franchise, and that's Critters 3. I remember watching this for the first time at my cousin's house. I was about 5 or 6, and it scared the fucking life out of me. Which is funny, because it's I don't consider this franchise scary, so I wonder why I did back then. But yeah, super nostalgic this film. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of the fans of the franchise do. I think it's actually a pretty decent Critters movie. Critters 1 and 2 are obviously king, like they're not going to be topped. But when it comes to nostalgia, Critters 3 is so nostalgic to me, and I get transported back when I was like a 6-year-old, being shit scared of this film and shit scared of the little critteroonies. But yeah, I really like this film. I still like it even now. It's just it's an easy watch. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, his first movie, this punk kid in this film, and you know he doesn't die, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I think it's done. Out of all the Critters movies, now we spoke about Gremlins earlier, out of all the Critters movies, this is probably the one that tries to copy Gremlins the most. If you go to Critters 1, I don't see it as a Gremlins ripoff. It's the Critters franchise is unfortunate that it came out post Gremlins, because Gremlins kind of ushered in that explosion of creature feature movies, that small little creatures causing havoc movies. The first Critters was written before Gremlins went into production, so the first Critters was its own movie, and I think it stands alone very well as its own movie. I love that original film. But when it comes to nostalgia, Critters 3 is my most nostalgic. If I want those childhood feels, those childhood kind of tingles when it comes to a Critters movie, I'll put on Critters 3, because it's going to give me that. It's going to give me that, transport me back to a child when I was discovering this franchise, and that's why it's one of my favourite franchises ever. Like I've got a full scale TV accurate critter replica being made for me. I've waited a year for it. The build time's gonna take a while to build because he actually has the molds. The guy has the molds. He gets the hair in. He has to hair it himself. He has to sculpt the details in himself. Put the eyes in. He does it all, and I've paid good money for it, and I can't wait to get it because I'm going to unbox it on the channel. Of course I am. Can't wait to receive my the replica, critter replica, because I love these little fucking devils. They're great. So yeah, Critters 3 is super nostalgic to me, and yeah, I love it. I just love it. Finally, if I was gonna say there's like, is there like the most nostalgic movie that I can remember as a child, the film that I love now that is super nostalgic to me, and that I can just rewatch, and it is still, even in 2020, a great movie, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was obsessed with Ninja Turtles as a kid. Here in the UK, it wasn't called Ninja Turtles; it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because some reason in the UK they banned the word ninja for some fucking reason. I know, right? I don't understand it either. It's fucking weird. But yeah, this film, man, like, I put it on. The soundtrack's amazing. It gives me those childhood feelings again. The acting is great. The fight choreography is great. It's got the best live action on-screen turtles we have ever got, ever. Fuck you, Michael Bay, with your 9-foot fucking massive CGI creature feature weirdo things. But yeah, the best live action Ninja Turtles movie we've ever had. I love it. It's so good. It's aged so well. It's so good. It's so quotable. Well, so quotable. You know, Raphael, when he's running after Casey Jones, come back here. I'm not finished with you. Damn. I love it. I love this movie so much. It's so nostalgic, so close to my heart, guys. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, so quotable. It's held up so well. They got Shredder bang on. He is horrendously scary in this film. He comes across as super intimidating, and they get the look for these characters bang on the money. Like, they look great in this film. The costumes get a bit worse in the sequels, but I still like Turtles 2. Turtles 2 was a fun ride as well. But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of my favourite, you know, in terms of nostalgia, super favourite nostalgic movies from my childhood. It's one of my favourite films from my childhood that I can still put on and watch now. It's got some great choreography. Like I said, the suits look amazing. And yeah, and just the tone of the film, it's a bit darker. It kind of takes a bit from the comics, a bit from the animated TV show, and I think it just works. It just works. Why we haven't got a similar style of Ninja Turtles movie, you know, this far ahead, 30 years on, I don't know. This is an example of taking the source material and making it excellent. And I don't know why we don't get this anymore for some reason. Like Batman 89 was good. Batman animated series was really good. That I think was really good, basically bang on the money for interpreting comics. But one of the best comic book movies ever made in terms of being so true to the source material. I love it. You should love it. Check it out. That's the end of that video. Yeah, it feels weird being on camera, but I want to get used to it because I think it opens up a kind of a new connection between me and the audience, and I think it's just fun. Like, I just think I want to be a bit more creative with my videos, and sitting here talking about video, bringing up the Blu-ray isn't exactly creative, but I'm just pushing what I can do, and how getting comfortable behind the camera is one thing. I keep not looking at the bloody camera and looking there and not looking at the camera. It's really hard. I'm not used to it. I'll get better, of course. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, because that always helps. It always helps out. Definitely. And if you want to see more from the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you think I'm rubbish, you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button. It's what it's there for. As always, I've been Jason, and I love it!